In this lesson, we now want to look at discontinuous versus continuous data. Chekutanga chatinoda kudiscussa ndechekuti discontinuous data is a type of discrete data. It is a type of what we refer to as discrete data. Zvekuti these two words, discontinuous nekuti discrete, are used interchangeably, even though the word discrete is the word which is preferred in statistics. So what you are going to see and what you should appreciate is we have discrete data. Then we are going to have discrete data, which is also referred to as discontinuous data. Then we have discrete data, which we refer as discrete data. Kana kuti, more precisely, it's discrete raw data. So in this lesson, toda ku compare discontinuous versus continuous data. But in the next lesson, we are going to be looking at discrete raw data versus continuous raw data. Kana chiti discontinuous data, tirikuti discontinuous data takes exact observations, and the word exact is a keyword. It takes on exact observations. That is, it attracts definite responses without room for an overlap. Saka, what do we mean by exact observations? Saka, to my exact observations, these are definite responses without room for overlap. Saka, we are going to explain that kureva kana tichiti without room for overlap. But for now, it's important to take note kuti we are referring to definite responses, exact observations, then without room for overlap. Okay, an example of discontinuous data, tekati a person can either roll a tongue or cannot. Saka, tongue rolling. And the tongue rolling, it's an example of a variation we call discontinuous variation if we are doing science. Saka, we have a person who can roll a tongue and a person who cannot. Saka, an example is tikada kui illustrate further tiri kungoti. Let us say we have 10 people. We can have 4 who are tongue rollers and 6 who are not tongue rollers. Hatikwanise kuva ne overlap panapa. Saka because hakuna munhu anogo ari pakati nepakati pa tongue rolling, it's either you can roll your tongue or you cannot. Saka there is no overlap. Hapana ma decimal points. Hapana pakati nepakati kuti inini handinyatso kugona kuta roll my tongue but ndineka kugonera. No, it's either you can do it or you cannot. So when we take a sample from a population, or we actually take the population itself, tova that we want to divide it into 2 categories, tukuda ma tongue rollers nema non-tongue rollers. We are going to have an exact number for tongue rollers and an exact number for non-tongue rollers. Murupa bata. Saka, that's an example of discontinuous data. We can also talk about gender. Katiti biological sex panapa. Gender studies maswano dziri kuita separate these two. Saka, biological sex, it's either you are male or female. Hakuna pakati nepakati on a statistical level. We can also talk about eye color. We have several variations of eye color. Kune vane brown eyes, kune vane blue eyes, then there are other colors, but they are really ndingati exact. Saka kana mchitoita few out forms, pane maforms anotofunza your eye color as a distinctive feature of you. Saka you can say my eyes, they are brown, they are blue, or whatever color. Saka that's also an example of discontinuous discrete data. We can also have an example of having ear lobes or not. And we have an exact number for people who have earlobes and also an exact number for people who do not. It's either you have earlobes or you do not have them. That is what we refer to as discontinuous data. Now when we look at continuous data, what is it? Saka continuous data, as we define it in this lesson, we are going to carry the same definition into the next lesson, but of course we are going to elaborate upon it. Continuous data refers to measurable data, and it lies on what we refer to as a continuum scale or spectrum. Saka continuous data, chekutanga, this is measurable data. Correct, we can measure this. Measurable data, it refers to measurable data. We should also specify kuti, so it does not have exact values. Correct, it is an opposite of discontinuous, as is suggested by the terms. It does not have exact values, and also more importantly, it lies on a continuum scale, which we can refer to as a spectrum. Saka kana tikwanisa kumeasure chinhu, for example length, height, that's already continuous data. It does not have an exact value. Kureva kuti we can have fractions of value. What do we mean? Tinogona kuva nemunhu ari akareba 1.67 meters. Kuti 0.67 ndio iri kutaura kuti it's not exact. My exact values are whole numbers. Kana chiti exact value in statistics, tikutaura ma whole numbers. That's what exact value mean. So if a value is not exact, zvoreva kuti it is what? It is a float decimal point. It is a decimal point. Okay. Saka examples here are going to be height, as we have illustrated. Examples here are going to be, for example, mass, and also weight is an example. Saka panapa tangopa generic examples. Panapa tango define these terms. So this lesson is more like a summary lesson. We are going to have a fuller lesson which introduces us to discrete and also continuous data. But this time digitaries are practical examples in the study of statistics. If this lesson has brought benefit to you, may you please subscribe, like, and share. If it is needful, and you also want to be part of our A-level statistics class, you can WhatsApp us on +263 71 521 3310. Thank you and have a nice day.